You can do anything you want. You just might not be the best at it or great at it. In confidence building, too many people go too far and they go into that 8th place trophy delusional place. I was built to win. I just feel like the 2 ways to build something insane is deep, deep insecurity turned into fuel, or deep, deep, deep levels of confidence turned into fuel. And so a lot of people are listening right now and they had positive reinforcement. There's 2 things to watch out for everybody who's listening, parents or youngsters, or just try to get everyone listening. And by the way, this is a good time to say this. I consume a lot of content, meaning I consume no content. I consume how people are consuming content. Here are the 2 things I want to go extra level to watch out for. In confidence building, too many people go too far and they go into that 8th place trophy delusional place, and then kids don't believe you. I'm gonna be very transparent. I've already sensed that with one of my children where they're calling my bluff on it. I'm like, fuck, it's true. So 1, it's don't let it be delusional. The whole you can be anything, you can do anything you want. You can be anything you want. You just might not be the best at it or great at it. You can be a musician. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be a financially successful enough musician to pay for your household. Or if you want to be, you can. You're just gonna have to live humbly and live your passion, which I think is going to be the conversation in 100 years. I believe the evolution of you and I, and a lot of people listening, is a lot more people making $61,000 a year doing exactly what has them on fire and living, this is a big part, and living within the means of that 61,000. But that's a different conversation for a different day. So number 1, watch out for delusion. Number 2, you can't be the only source of positive reinforcement. Had I never gone outside and my mother did everything she did, I don't think I am who I am. The market made me. All those no's became enjoyable. I also think one of the things to point out that might help a lot of people is my mom also created positive reinforcement for me on the right things. When I think back to what she positively reinforced, it was not when I get the occasional B in history as a DNF student, which would be logical. It would be logical for a mother who really, she knew how smart I was. She was borderline pissed. She's like, can't you get C's to appease me? You're so capable. I'm like, D's and F's. Why she didn't positively reinforce the B's I got in history, which was the one class I paid attention to, is actually a very interesting insight. She didn't reaffirm a subjective machine that wasn't built for me. What she reaffirmed and built confidence in me was how nice I was to everyone. When I think of my 47-year-old self, I am the byproduct of 2 energies. I'm a successful entrepreneur, which is what the world taught me. And for the people that know, they know, like especially the people that really know, they know how nice I am. Like, you know this, you've been on, you know a lot more about me in subtle little, like, what I love about you is you're smart. So I know I can say this, you know.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Right? We've theoretically competed. There's been moments where I could or couldn't come, like, what I love about this is, you know. And I've always said that when I go into the grave, so many people are gonna know me that as long as the people that actually know me, first of all, as a whole separate and intriguing conversation, everything is a privilege and everything is a vulnerability. And this is like an incredibly important subject to talk about. I think mental content is the ultimate privilege.
Yeah. Amen.
I think the second one is beauty. I am fascinated that we haven't gotten yet to attractive privilege. When I look at men and women navigate this world, there's nothing more clear to me in the privilege that, like they're like white male, I'm like, attractive privilege makes that shit look fucking minor leagues if you look at the data.
So let's look at that then.
But I'm gonna I wanna go back because I don't wanna lose it, and I will lose it because I know how we roll. I have no interest in thinking that I'm telling anyone what to do or giving. I do not think that I'm giving advice. I really don't. And I don't touch on this enough, and I have touched on it at times, and this is a great format to touch about it. I have no belief that I'm right. I have no belief that I'm giving advice. I have no belief that anyone listening to this should do what I'm saying. I am putting info into the system, and I'm hoping that people can extract something of value for them based on their own self-awareness of themselves. I'm aware which is why I talk about it so much.
Yeah.
You know, I think 47-year-old Gary, for cynics and people that were watching, is better than they thought it would be than 27-year-old Gary, right? Like the hot takes on, I'll never forget when I hit the scene on Twitter, the whispers at conferences, I could hear them in the back room, in the green room. And I definitely read it on Twitter because I was like popping. They're like, out of everyone who's popping on Twitter in 2007, the consensus was the only person that won't be here in a decade is Gary. Because it was too hot, too fast, too much. People literally, I'm empathetic. When you have this kind of energy, I'm empathetic to how this story plays out for different people. I get why the person burns out. I get why the person really does the ultimate bad thing and disappears off the front. I get what that is, but that's because I'm not on the extreme insecurity side. I'm on this other side. So I always knew. So, but one of the things, so I get a lot of like joy out of like knowing that so many people didn't think I'd be there and I'm at the top of it. Same way I feel about VeeFriends. Nobody has a clue, including my inner circle, of how much thoughtfulness I did in character development. This is my Disney. This is my Sesame Street. Self-awareness is profound. The story of the tortoise and the hare is profound to every listener of this. There's not a single listener right this second that's listening here right now, if they're 8 or if they're 88, that isn't extremely vulnerable to the lack of patience because they're too ambitious. It's the reason they're listening. So self-aware hare, for me, is a phenomenal story I get to tell for the next 50 years. And I can't wait to make self-aware hare more famous than Gary Vee is today, because that will be the way I scale putting positivity into the world, VeeFriends. And so I'm excited about that. But back to your point, my friend, as long as you come from a place of humility and understand that ego kills people. Yes, we have some luxury of mindset and communication, but for me, I don't think people should listen to me. I think people should listen to everything and try to find positivity and usability out of everything. And they should dismiss what is clearly negative and selfish, and they should triple down on everything that is selfless and positive. And that is the answer to your question that started here. What should people do? They should be very, very focused on trying to do the following. Lean in dramatically more to things that are positive. Lean into positivity. Then they should be on the awareness, eyes wide open, on is this delusional and lacks practicality? Like, you know, if I just dream it, it will happen. No. But whatever you do, back to like working out, like, you know, protein. And, you know, when Mike Vacanti's like, all right, you did a lift, like protein. I'm like, really? Okay. And like during COVID, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm starting to finally get some muscles. Oh, because I was doing protein as fuck after lifts and not after not lifts. I was doing it right. Here's something right for everyone. Cut out 1 hour of negativity, add 1 hour of positivity. If you're listening right now and you're like, ugh, social's such a drag, it's because you're in a drag mindset and the algos and the people you follow are following you. You know what my social looks like? In the world of the momentum of darkness right now, sunshine. You know why? I choose to fight